Albums that saved a band's career. Starting off, we have Green Day's American Idiot album from 2004. Their previous album, titled Warning, performed relatively poorly, and many felt the band's peak was behind them. But this rock opera became a massive cultural phenomenon and helped Green Day reclaim their position at the top of the rock scene. Next up is Queen's The Works album from 1984. Similar to Green Day, their previous experimental album Hot Space also underperformed, but in Queen's case, it alienated much of their rock fan base. Thankfully, The Works brought them back to their theatrical rock roots with hits like Radio Gaga and I Want to Break Free. Up next is Billy Joel's The Stranger album from 1977. Billy's record company, Columbia Records, was considering dropping him if this album performed poorly after his previous two records. Thankfully, he did not strike out, and The Stranger went on to sell over 10 million units and established him as a global superstar. REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity album from 1980 had a similar story. This was their 9th studio album, and they haven't even cracked the top 40 prior. But unlike Columbia with Billy Joel, Epic Records warned that they will for sure drop if High Infidelity disappoints. It would then spend a whopping 15 weeks on that #1 on the Billboard 200 and became the best-selling album of 1981. Finally, while we're in 1980, we have AC/DC's Back in Black album. This followed the death of their lead singer Bon Scott, and the band heavily considered breaking up at that point. However, they recruited Brian Johnson and recorded this album as a tribute to him, which became one of the best-selling records in music history. Bon Scott would be proud, may he rest in peace.